Today, we're diving into a topic that always gets a lot of buzz: short squeezes. You've seen them happen. You've heard the stories: GameStop, AMC stocks that seemingly defied gravity, creating fortunes for some and, well, not so great outcomes for others. It's a high-stakes game, but the potential for explosive gains is what keeps everyone watching. In this video, I'm going to break down 3 specific stocks that, in my opinion, are showing some interesting signs and could potentially be primed for a short squeeze in 2025. We're going to look at their current situation, why they're heavily shorted, and what could possibly trigger that massive upward price movement we all find so fascinating. We'll dig into the numbers, the news, and the narrative surrounding these companies. And this is a huge, but before we get into the nitty-gritty, I need to make something crystal clear. This is not financial advice. Seriously. I'm just a guy on YouTube sharing my research and opinions. These are highly speculative plays and they carry a significant amount of risk. You could lose a substantial portion or even all of your investment. So please do your own thorough due diligence, consult with a financial advisor, and never invest more than you're willing to lose. Alright, disclaimer done. Let's get into the first stock. First up on our potential short squeeze list for 2025 is Quantum Leap Computing, ticker symbol QLCI. They operate in the quantum computing space, which is cutting edge but speculative. Potential applications include drug discovery, materials science, and financial modeling. The stock has been on a wild ride. After initial enthusiasm, QLCI's share price has declined. Setbacks and high cash burn have made investors wary. This has attracted many short sellers. Short interest is around 35 to 40%. This indicates strong bearish sentiment. If QLCI announces positive news, shorts could be forced to buy back shares, fueling a rally. A breakthrough in qubit stability could change the game. This could attract new investors and make short selling risky. Next on our list is Revive Therapeutics, ticker RVTH. This is a clinical stage biotechnology company, and as many of you know, biotechs are notorious hotbeds for volatility and short squeeze potential. Revive Therapeutics focuses on developing treatments for neurodegenerative diseases, a field with a huge unmet medical need, but also a very high failure rate for clinical trials. RVTH had a promising lead drug candidate for Alzheimer's disease that showed some encouraging results in early phase trials. This generated a lot of excitement and a significant run-up in its stock price a while back. However, about a year ago, their phase 2b trial results were disappointing. The primary endpoints weren't met convincingly, and the stock price cratered, losing 80% of its value in days. It was a brutal blow for the company and its long-term shareholders. Following this major setback, short sellers piled into RVTH. The narrative shifted dramatically from a company on the cusp of a breakthrough to one with a failed lead asset and a questionable future. The short interest climbed steadily and now sits at a very substantial level, around 30% of the float. Many are betting that the company will struggle to find a new path forward, or that its remaining pipeline candidates are too early stage or too risky to warrant much optimism. The primary drug candidate, despite the phase 2b stumble, isn't completely dead in the water, according to the company. RVTH's management has been arguing that a deeper dive into the data, particularly focusing on specific patient subgroups and secondary endpoints, reveals a more nuanced and potentially positive picture. They've been in discussions with regulatory agencies about a redesigned phase 3 trial protocol that they believe could still lead to approval if successful. The big potential catalyst for Revive Therapeutics is the anticipated feedback from the FDA on their proposed new trial design for this Alzheimer's drug, or perhaps even more significantly, interim data from a smaller, ongoing exploratory study looking at a refined patient population. If the FDA gives them a clear path forward for a phase 3 trial with a design that the market deems credible, or if this exploratory data shows a surprisingly strong signal, it could completely change the investment thesis overnight. Positive news on this front would be a direct challenge to the prevailing short narrative. If RVTH can demonstrate that their lead drug still has a viable shot at approval, even if it's for a more targeted patient group, the current depressed valuation could look ridiculously cheap. Shorts who are banking on the drug being a complete write-off would suddenly find themselves in a very uncomfortable position, especially given the already high short interest and the potential for a massive re-rating of the stock. Another factor to consider with RVTH is its relatively low float. After the stock price collapsed, many institutional investors likely liquidated their positions, and the remaining shares might be concentrated in fewer hands, including retail investors who are still holding on for a turnaround. A smaller float can exacerbate price movements during a squeeze because there are fewer shares available to absorb the sudden surge in buying demand from covering shorts and new buyers. Analyst opinions on RVTH are currently quite divided, which is typical for a biotech in this kind of situation. Some have written off the lead drug and have sell ratings with very low price targets, citing the previous trial failure and the immense challenges of Alzheimer's drug development. Others, however, see a speculative buy opportunity, pointing to the company's remaining cash runway, its other early-stage pipeline assets, and the non-zero chance that the lead drug could be salvaged. This division creates uncertainty, which shorts thrive on, but also potential for a sharp reversal. Our third and final stock for today's potential short squeeze watch list is TerraCycle Innovations, ticker TCIN. This company operates in the advanced recycling sector, tackling plastic waste with innovative chemical recycling processes. It taps into the growing ESG investing trend. Everyone wants a cleaner planet, right? However, TCIN has faced significant challenges in scaling its technology and achieving profitability. Their process shows promise in labs, but scaling it commercially has been difficult and capital-intensive. The stock had strong performance driven by green energy hype, but has since fallen due to operational hurdles. This difficulty in execution has attracted a formidable contingent of short sellers. The current short interest in TCIN is sitting at a hefty 25 to 30% of the available float. The short thesis is that TCIN's technology may not be commercially scalable at a competitive cost. The bull case rests on the disruptive potential of their technology if they can overcome scaling challenges. They claim their process can handle types of plastic waste that are currently unrecyclable. If they can prove their tech works at scale and is cost-effective, the market opportunity is enormous. The major upcoming catalyst for TCIN is the potential awarding of a significant government contract or a strategic partnership. There have been whispers that TCIN is in late-stage negotiations for a multi-year contract to process hard-to-recycle plastics. This would provide much-needed revenue and validation. If such a contract or a major partnership were to be announced, it would serve as a powerful counter-argument to the short thesis. It would not only provide a significant revenue stream but also act as a crucial proof of concept. This could open the floodgates for further contracts and partnerships. The role of social media and retail investor interest in TCIN shouldn't be underestimated. Green tech and sustainability resonate strongly with many younger investors. TCIN has a dedicated following on platforms like Reddit and Twitter. A significant positive catalyst could easily galvanize this community into action. There have been occasional spikes in TCIN's volume on days with positive industry news. If a transformative piece of news were to hit, the combination of shorts covering and new investors could lead to a rapid price increase. The shorts are betting that TCIN will continue to struggle with operational execution. They see it as another green dream company that will ultimately fail to deliver on its promises. They point to the company's history of missed deadlines and operational setbacks as evidence for their bearish stance. So there you have it. Quantum Leap Computing, Revive Therapeutics, and TerraCycle Innovations. Three very different companies in three very different sectors, but all sharing some common traits: high short interest, significant potential catalysts on the horizon, and the kind of narratives that could lead to a dramatic short squeeze in 2025 if things break their way. These are the kinds of situations where market sentiment can shift incredibly quickly, leading to those explosive price movements we've discussed. It's fascinating to watch but incredibly risky to play. Remember, identifying potential short squeeze candidates is one thing. Timing them correctly and managing the inherent risk is a whole other ballgame. These stocks are highly speculative, and the catalysts we talked about might not happen, or they might not have the impact we anticipate. The shorts might be right, and these stocks could continue to underperform. That's why it's so crucial to approach these ideas with extreme caution and a clear understanding of what you're getting into. Before you even think about investing in any of these, or any stock for that matter, please do your own extensive research. Don't just take my word for it, or anyone else's on YouTube or social media. This video is purely for informational and entertainment purposes and is absolutely not financial advice. Seriously, consult with a qualified financial professional who understands your individual risk tolerance and financial situation. And if you found this breakdown interesting, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe for more content like this, and let me know in the comments below which stocks you're watching for a potential squeeze. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.